with Lana, the podcast that talks about everything and absolutely nothing all at the exact same time. I got my okay, so I've been wanting to do this podcast for a minute since the first time I met her on Bobby's on Fight Junkies. Miss Maricela Cornejo.
Hello.
Look at that. That's so dope. I'm so excited. Okay,
Thank you for having me here.
Oh, of course, bitch. I've been wanting you on here because I remember last time. So when you walked in on Fight Junkies, I remember you talking because, you know, there's the fighters that come in here. Not to say that they're, like, not humble. They're you know, most fighters are fucking humble as shit. They're super humble.
Yeah.
But I liked your conversation that you were having about, like, because a lot of people don't know that I'm, like, very, like, holy moly godly myself. And I hide it because I'm like, my content that I have and stuff like that, people are like, how are you going to believe in God? But you're like, I used to be a stripper. And I'm like, well, like.
You know what? That's something that, because I have an OnlyFans and somebody is like, an ex was like, how do you feel comfortable going to your pastor and telling him you have an OnlyFans? I said, sure, yeah, because on there, it's like training information, training stuff, you know? Yeah, there's pictures of me in a bikini, but I post those on IG. And it's not even anything crazy on there.
Yeah.
But I'm like, Jesus went and sat with, you know, prostitutes and everything like that. But just because he sat with them doesn't mean that, you know, he touched them and he became them. They actually touched him and became him and more of him. So that's why it's just like, love wins. God is love. And it's not our job to do God's work. It's just to show his love and his mercy that he can have with all of us, no matter what, you know, you do or have done or who you were. Who you were is not who you can become in his love. So
someone just told me, oh my God, Nikki, the girl, she's in the back right now. She literally told me, she was like, your new life is gonna cost you your old one. And it's kind of like what you just said. Like you're like you not like your past is your past. It's one thing.
Yeah, but I can understand that. Like, you know, I've been reading the Bible. I've been reading the New Testament. My mom told me, read the new one before you read the old one so you can understand it a little bit more. And as I'm reading it, I'll be honest, like sometimes just because I don't post, you know, when people think about OnlyFans, they think about like explicit things and all this stuff, which that's how they, you know, became really known. And that's why they're trying to change courses and go the other way. So sometimes I question myself. I do question myself. I'm like, why do I still feel kind of like not, even though I'm not doing anything, why do I still kind of feel, I want to use the word dirty, but but I think also as I continue to read the Bible and as I continue to know more and get to know God, get to really know him, little by little you start releasing that, what you're saying, that old life and your old ways, because you can't hold on to both either and still. If you get to know God, really get to know him, slowly you'll release the old the old you, you know, because you'll want to like be in his love and be all about him, which I know that's a journey for everybody to discover at their own time. So it's not like, oh, I look down upon whoever it is. It's just like, no, like you have to love everybody for their journey and be grateful that they are wanting to continue to have God in their life, you know, no matter what it is that they're doing. Slowly, God will work in them at their time. So,
because that's what I'm like I just kind of took God in as just to be a good human. I just want to pray for like I'm the type that if I see a car accident, I pray. Yeah. If I see somebody hurt, I pray. If I see someone, if I see an accomplishment, I pray. Yeah. Like I'm constantly like praying, like just trying to be more grateful and trying to be a good person. I can't sit here and say that I'm a fucking saint because I'm not. I'm like,
nobody is. We all fall short of his mercy, of his glory and mercy, you know. Yeah. So it's, I don't know.
That's why I kind of hate that. A lot of people, like I do go to church, but I do have an OnlyFans. I do show explicit stuff, but I'm like I don't sleep around like I used to. I used to past life, past life, but I don't do the things that I used to do, and the more I'm letting go, the more I realize like God's real. Like I'm like, you know, whether people believe in God, the Holy Spirit, a higher divine, or what the Holy Ghost, the universe, whatever it is, I'm like, you believe in something, but whatever that is, like to me, it's God. So I believe in that, and I pray to Him, and I like I still do that just to be a good person. I'm not perfect, but I feel like people have this label on, like, if you believe in God, you're supposed to be like this fucking button up to the, like, I'm supposed to be wearing this all the time, and like,
well, people don't go to the hospital, you know, or the doctor because they're well. People go, you know, somewhere because they're in need of something. So we're all wanting to fulfill that emptiness, or that, you know, just question mark of like, is there more? Which there is. And just because you are going through your own journey, that's your own journey with Him. You know, I took a friend and she to church, and she was, you know, crying and all this stuff. And me, I'm not that one, because I'm just like, I respect like whatever you're feeling and going through at the moment. That's you and God, you know. So it's not that I don't acknowledge her. I just allow her to go through that on her own with God.
With God,
it's not supposed to be with me. It's not supposed to be, you know, whatever
that's
it is.
Between you and the Lord.
Yes. So so I am also very I'm not as like, you know, touchy feel like, oh girl, it's gonna be okay, because I'm like, no dude, like let me feel what I'm feeling, you know. So I'm not like that with people. So I'm like, no girl, you could keep crying. That's have that conversation with God. That's you. I'll leave you here. I'll come back when you're ready. So and she told me, she goes, did you see me crying? I said, you know, and she was probably questioning, why didn't you hug me? It's like, no.
Like, why didn't you give me the rub down on like on the back?
I know. So so that's my own issue. I need to work with God. But but that's your journey, you know. And it took you some time. How you said you used to do that, you used to do those things, and little by little, I think as you continue to walk with Him, I think He'll work His love in you, and and you'll want to let go of whatever it is there, you know, because I have thought about it of like, you know, even though I'm not doing anything crazy on them, I'm like, I don't know, maybe I should just close it down. But I'm like, now I got fights coming up. They pay really well, you know, and if I don't have it, they're not going to sponsor me for fight night, you know. So but I'm like, I'll just continue to put cooking shows on, or cooking things and nutrition tips and all that stuff. So but the Holy Spirit is something that, you know, that is God. That is a formation of like how we receive the Holy Spirit, and and that's God being everywhere in the world. You can receive Him here. They can receive Him in China. They can receive Him everywhere, you know. So we're all able to. They just got
a different name for it. I'm like,
absolutely.
Everybody, it's like they tweak it for sure. I feel like all religions are different. They tweak it, but we all pray. Yeah. We all want to impress and like do for the higher divine, or like the universe, whatever their God is. I'm like, we all just want to be perfect people, and that's the thing too, is I'm like like I'm still in my healing journey, unfortunately. Like,
but that's a ongoing thing for like forever and ever.
But that's the thing, is I'm trying, because okay, I have this thing with my best friend where I used to, I wouldn't say I make fun of them, but I used to just like, how are you always fucking healing? Like, I hate that. I hate that. I hate that people make healing part of their identity. I don't want to be that person.
Your friends tell you that?
No. This is me judging other people. Yeah, this is me just being judgmental. Sorry, I'm not that godly, right? Yeah. But it was me just constantly being like, how are you always hurt? How are you always healing? Like, how is it that you're always healing over something that happened 20 fucking years ago? And me personally, like, I've seen myself heal and get over the situations that have happened. But because, okay, so like when I was stripping, I had a lot of guys touch me. I had a lot of guys sexually assault me, and I got raped, as they have to say it on YouTube. So I had gotten assaulted, and it made me lose trust in men. So I'm learning slowly but surely. I'm learning how to like trust men. Is from Sticky Paw, because when I first started at Sticky Paws in November, I was like, I hated men. I didn't trust them. I didn't trust anybody. Like, I was like,
in November
last year. Not like a few months ago. No.
Oh, last.
Yeah, okay. 2022.
Okay.
November 2022. I was like horrible. Like, it was bad. by like now I'm like I could be alone in a room with a guy and not think that he's gonna like hurt me. Like I'm getting there. But I see myself praying a lot more to like help me with that. And I'm like, so I know in my healing journey, I've been praying to God a lot more. And it's not like I'm not 100% there. I still have my OnlyFans. I'm still like kind of in the mindset and the world of like stripping because I just quit like a year and a half ago. It's hard to get out of that mindset where like it's hard to not talk to a man and just be like talking to him. And I'm like, I can make $400 off of you right now.
Wait, time out. Just by
talking
Wait,
to him.
On the account?
On anything. In person.
Oh, Jesus.
On the account.
What's the conversations?
Bro, it's
so you're okay, your mind.
My mind state is very stripper.
I see.
I'm trying to get out of it. And like
what do you feel in your mind with though at the moment to try to get out of the old you? Because that's something that I actually was just reading. I think it was what was it? Ephesians? But it's what we put into our mind and what we're constantly thinking of in our thoughts. And it's just that something that, and it's a practice. It's a practice of like, we have to work at that. It's not
fucking easy, bro.
It's not easy. You know, it's harder to love somebody than to hate somebody. It's easy to hate somebody. It's going to be like, well, I don't know them. To love them, you have to get to know them. You have to get to know them.
Yeah.
You have to get to, want to spend time with them. You have to like them and everything like that. But that's, a job at its own, like with what you put into your mind.
Yeah, because to be completely fair, a lot of the things that I've put into my own mind, because I know it was me, is that men just want to sleep with me. And it's trauma from like, I was a stripper for 5 years, let's be real. I was a stripper for 5 years. And
what were you doing before that?
I was working as a cardiology tech, and then I was working for oh my God, the Fund Me people. It's for like where, I don't want to say it like that, but like when broke people need help. And they go like, there's like EBT resume stuff. There's like housing.
Oh my God.
I forgot what it's called. Government assistance.
Challenging people
Government
need
assistance.
Help. There we go. Gosh, when it's a tough time.
Tough times. I've been in those tough times.
Same. I grew up like that, working on the field and on food stamps and everything like
that.
Yeah,
so. Like, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say I've never been on food stamps. Yeah. I've been on food stamps. I've never been on, like, Section 8, but I wouldn't judge anybody for being on it. Like, people have kids, and I don't judge people for it.
No.
I help them. Like, I was there. I was one of the nicest people there. I just didn't know how to say it.
So, as a kid, did you deal with any, like sexual assaults or anything like that?
I had a wonderful childhood.
Really?
Beyond wonderful. Never was touched by a man. My parents like really sheltered me. I had an amazing childhood up until I got married.
Okay.
When I got married, it was...
How old were you when you got married?
23. I moved in with him at 20.
Such a baby.
Yeah.
Dang, I wish I cared about men at that age. I didn't. I was like, I know there's more to life than this.
Oh, I wish I'd have known, because being married, I was like, I know there's more to life than this. That's how I felt.
You know how I was not judging, but I was looking at some girls or just friends in high school or middle school, and where they're at now, and had beautiful families and everything like that. But never moved out of like, their that place. And I'm just like, that I don't know, because you get at the same time, it's beautiful. You created your own people, your own tribe, So, but then it's like, was there more in you? And then they're trying to get started, after, but still in that same small town.
Yeah.
And it's hard. It's hard. Both are hard. I'll be very honest.
Both hard.
Roads are difficult. Choose your hard, basically.
Because life is just life. Like, life is gonna be tough, especially in your 20s. Like 20, you don't know what the fuck you're doing.
You don't even know who you are.
You don't know who you are.
I know.
I'm like, people go to school for nursing and then come out and they're strippers. That's what I did. Like, I got out of college and became a stripper, and I was like, yo, I make more money than doctors.
That's why you saw how much money you were making. Yeah. But then you only did that for 3 years, and then you got out. But in those 3 years, you were highly, traumatized, I guess, from it. And now it changed how...
It changed how I view men, but it made me respect women so much more.
Okay. So within when you were, working... did it make you change men because how they treated you when you were working? Would you get treated like that when you weren't working?
Yeah.
You would get treated like that?
Yeah. I still get treated like that. And mind you, like...
Okay, is it even around different kinds of people? I mean, if I go into a strip club or whatever it is, it's not that I should expect to be treated, because nobody should expect to be treated, but the quality of men in there, I guess, or what they're going in there for a fun time to let loose and everything like that. Should they ever do that to anybody, no matter how they're dressed? Absolutely not. But I guess I'm trying to say is putting yourself in different environments, because just like not all women, are trifling. Because I've seen how some women, even, with some people I know that are very close to me, how they will try to get, pregnant, get pregnant, be like, I forgot to take the pill, or I forgot, and, do that.
Yeah.
And then use the kid to handle the person. So not all women are the same. Not all men are the same like that. So even in I'm trying to understand how I dealt with it also because I was a kid and I got sexually molested, and as growing up, like how you said, you had trouble trusting men and everything like that. So I think
you had that your whole life.
Yeah. So I think that's why I never saw men as important, like a priority. Like, I want to, because I was always like, no, like they hurt me. That species hurt me, so let me focus on myself and try to get to know myself.
Right.
And I always had that growing up, and I always wanted to get to know who I was and why I was psycho inside, but it was because I was dealing with my own demons. So I was like, there's no way I can bring somebody into my a relationship, because I'm freaking like a mess.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna bring my mess and he's bringing his mess. There's no point of us even mess.
It's like a hoarder now.
Yeah.
It's a hoarder relationship, just a mess of our baggage.
So how are you right now with that journey, I guess, of like you trusting men and now feeling safe, I guess, because in a room that you said that you said that you in a room that you're just like, okay, I know how to navigate. That I had to learn how to do that also. When you said that, I was like, oh my gosh, I had to do that. Never be in a room by myself with a guy, with a man, and literally, like when I got started with boxing, someone very well known pulled me into the office and kissed me. Very well known. I could have easily used his name and been like, he did this to me. But I was like, what are they going to do? Right. They're going to say this girl's a problem, person and all this stuff. And so I just left the gym. So I just left the gym, went to another gym. I said, let me learn from that. Never put myself in a position with a man like that. Never like go in a gym, hi, bye, don't get too close to them, even though you want to, like, and they're such good people, but it's just like, I will never be in a room, like step in a room, be alone and the door shut. No, I'll leave the door open and stand in the doorway. Like and it's so, I guess it's sad and not, but it's just being aware. It's like, no, I'm a woman, he's a man. It's like
that's how we normally think.
And I don't want to think of it as a negative way. I just want to think of it as no, it's just as a smart way of thinking.
Yeah,
for him and for me.
Which is, in a sense, yeah, because I'm like, if the doors are closed, he can't say anything if you're just like, oh my God, he touched me.
Yeah.
And then he goes and he's like, what the fuck, bitch, you're crazy. And then now, like you can never tell nowadays what happens behind closed doors and who's telling the truth and who isn't. Mm-hmm. Especially it's like, if I come out like 5 years later, even if I came out like a year later, people are always like, why didn't you say anything? Why didn't you say anything? Why didn't you say anything? And you're like, you can't, bro. Yeah. At the end of the day, I'm like there's a lot of times where like a lot of the people that have sexually like made advances or sexually assaulted you, you can't say anything because they're higher up than you and you can't say anything. And I'm like, and they take that power to advantage. I'm like, all these red pill dudes that say like, oh, men with money, men with power, those are the same men that assault women, and women just don't say anything about it because they are scared to.
They're scared to, but also, and I like to look at both sides of like protecting men and protecting women. Also, women sometimes play into that. So, and then they work their way up that way. And they, or not even work their way up, because they are very talented. No matter what it is, they do deserve that position, but in some cases they're like, well, if I go along with his games or anything like that, then I can get what I want. So he's getting what he wants, she's getting what she wants. Yeah. It's transactional. At that point, everything is transactional. That's how I think about anything.
But like, if you're pulling that kind of transaction, how is that not
prostitution? Do I agree with it? No, I don't. Yeah. It doesn't mean I agree with it, but I understand it. Yeah, I understand it, and I know what they say. I know what's up.
And in that sense, how you understand it, men expect me to understand it.
Well, all you gotta, I mean, you know, I guess what I'm saying, all you gotta say is, I understand what you're doing. I don't want to partake in that. Yeah, that's about it. But then you're in fear of he's gonna close the doors on me, and like,
which has happened before.
That's what I was afraid of when I didn't say anything. This was like the beginning of boxing, and I was afraid of that. And then later on, they tried to do something to block me out of a certain opportunity. I called them up. I said, "You guys do this, I am coming out with a story." So I wouldn't. Don't try me. I've gotten to the point in my career that I did this on my own. Right. So do not try me, because I have time. I have time today. So, and I don't play. So, so yeah. So that's about it. Like, I don't know.
I think when, cause like back to the question that you asked me, like, am I, like, what am I doing different? Now, I think the thing that I find unfortunate for myself and my podcast is that I want to share my story about, like, like, I had fun while I was stripping, but then it was also, it traumatized me. So I want to tell the story so I can, like, let girls know, like, yes, it's fun. Don't get me wrong. But you also have to look at the dark side of Las Vegas, or the dark side of stripping, and, like, the dark side of, like, what it does to your head. Yeah. So I want to, like, tell my story in a funny way on top of it. But then now, like, I haven't been stripping in 2 years. I haven't done anything. And I still get called a stripper. I still get treated like one. Like, guys will come in here because based off of my content, like I don't post, like, that bad content, but I tell people, like, the stories that I would tell you behind closed doors. Like, I just say it on camera because I have no shame. But it's like, like, I don't know if you've seen, like, my queef story. Like, there's one where I was telling a story about, like, I queefed on somebody. And I'm like, it's just a story. It's something that I would have told you if we were, like, just smoking.
Okay, but here's the thing. I understand that completely. But to whatever you give, you have to be aware that there's going to be... how you said... I used to, what'd you call yourself when you used to sleep around?
A whore.
Okay. So, did you know that when you were doing that?
Yes.
So would you be offended when somebody called you that?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. No. And do I think it's right that they're calling you that? No, right. I don't think it's right. Let her do whatever she wants to do. I don't think it's, like, does that make the man feel any better because, oh, well, I'm calling her what she is? Get the fuck out of here, dude.
Yeah, get out of here. Okay, you did it.
She's going through her stuff. You don't know what she's dealing with. You don't know what kind of life she's had, know? So I just don't agree with bullies. But one thing that I even told my friend, I was just like, hey, well, you're doing what they're calling you. Don't take their words and feel any type of, like, depression or offense or whatever it is. You just got to tell yourself, like, well, it is kind of what I'm doing. So, so I should be aware of, like, that they're going to come at me this way, but I'm still that bitch. I'm still, dope. Yeah. I still am worthy. I'm still this, and screw you, because you're not part of my journey in this life. Yeah. But I'm just trying to word it as in, like, I don't want it to affect women, how they, you're dealing with a lot now where for the rest of your life, you have to continue to go through that journey to work through that. which that's your journey. But just be aware, like, hey, if you do take this road, like I chose to do meth, and
now you're a meth head.
Yeah, now you're a meth head, and now you're trying to save your life. I was a meth head at one time.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So I didn't know what meth could do to you at that point. I just knew, hey, my friend was doing it, and I've done coke. I did weed before, and I was like, yeah, that's easy work. Whatever. let me do this, and I was like, holy crap,
right.
Like, what is this? And I feel like Superwoman, so I had to now work at getting free from that. But just I get lost in the freaking stories, but I understand what you're saying with why you're saying your story and everything like that, but continue to spread your message. But if you do say those explicit things, people have their opinions about everything. No, people have opinions about why this freaking pinata is not, right there, black or something like that. Why do you have to have a white pinata? Like stupidity, So
those comments don't bother me. Yeah. Honest to God, the things that strangers believe or think about me doesn't bother me. Good. It's when like people that I care about all of a sudden have this opinion about me because of the stuff that I've like told them, where I'm like if I told you that I was a stripper in the past and I'm not a stripper anymore, and I'm like I literally tell them I stripped in order to get money for my podcast, and now I'm here. I got my podcast, Stop Stripping. So now that I'm here, I was like, I'm a producer, I'm an engineer. I was like, I have a title, and I even introduced myself as a comedian, but people still like I went on a business meeting with this one guy. I went on a business meeting, and the first question, like, he tells me it's a business meeting. This is after I told him that I was going for acting and for voiceovers. I was like, I want to be a voiceover and I want to be an actor. I was like, so after I told him that, he was like, we have some business to handle, so let's talk about it. I was super excited. And the first thing that comes out of his mouth is that he wants me to be his sugar baby. And I was like, where did you get this fucking idea and this is someone I knew in person. We had conversations.
Can you afford it though?
Yeah.
Like, how much?
No, and to be fair, no, he couldn't, because he couldn't fucking afford I'll tell you the story after.
$500 a month, honey.
No, to me that's not worth it.
No, it's not at all. But I would make
a ridiculous amount.
No, like I just laugh about the situation because it's that stupid to me. Like, are you kidding me? I'd be like, yeah, $10,000 a week, sure. But you got me.
The thing is, guys are that desperate. Yeah. Not desperate. No, I don't want to call them desperate, but like. One thing that I've learned, especially with just last night, I went out on a date last night, and just last night, I was like, oh my God, if a man has money and he's like, this dude, I don't even think he hits 100K a year. He's probably at like 80,000, 90,000 a year. He's probably, but to him, he's making big bank, okay? And his big bank is like, he was like, I just want to let you know ahead of time that my dream is to, like, he was like, I want to own an island, I want to have a jet, and I want to have 3 wives. I'm like, oh, okay, well then I'm not it. Like,
yeah.
Oh, this date is over. Like, this, I should just go home. And he's like, wait, what? Like, why wouldn't you consider that? And I'm like, where in the fucking guidelines does it say bisexual means I want to share my fucking husband? I'm bisexual. It means I want either a guy or a girl.
Well, I think, she's open-minded.
Yes, exactly. And then, but that's the thing is, I'm like, it's that misconstrued. Like guys think like, oh, because I was a stripper, I must have had sex for money. And I'm like, well, I was a sugar baby, so not really. Because I'm like, sugar baby, I was paid to be their girlfriend. I'm having sex, and I'm paid to be their girlfriend. Yeah, but escort, no. But they made it seem like just because I was a stripper, I must have been having sex for money. And I'm like, that wasn't the case. Like, that I was never like that. But or if I'm a stripper, I must like dancing. Or if I'm a stripper, I must like sex all the fucking time. And I'm like, no. I was like, you understand? Because I'm a stripper, that means I'm a hustler. It just means I like money. Yeah. It doesn't mean I like sex. It doesn't mean I fuck with a lot of men. It doesn't mean that. It just means, like, their ideas of what women want is completely opposite from what we actually ask for.
Well, they're living in a fantasy.
Well, what the fuck?
That's what happened.
Gail? That's fucking George. No, just leave it. It's fucking George's bitch ass.
That's the fantasy that they live in, and that's why porn, messes with a lot of people's minds and what is reality and what is fantasy. But that's all fantasy. That's something that they think that I understand that we don't understand them. Well, that's super simple. Have a room, a TV, and some chips, and they're happy. The simplicity of it,
they are so simple.
Yeah, right. Football, yeah.
I say that all the time. Where I'm like, men are 100% simple-minded, and I love that about them because we're
the ones who complicate.
Yeah, no.
Here, want 2 plants there.
It's 100%. Like I know that I'm complicated, 100%. But men, like we say, like we're like, hey babe, what's wrong? I'm fine. And it's like, to him, it's like, all right, she's cool. All right, cool. That's how simple-minded men are.
Yeah.
Oh, she's cool. She said she was cool.
You're not going to ask me why what's wrong?
Like, you're not going to ask me why I said I'm fine like that? Like, you're not going to ask? And it's like, well, what
you can't see what I'm thinking? What the heck? Yeah.
I'm like, I know women are like that. Like, we're complicated creatures for sure. But as simple-minded as men are, it's confusing how complex they make something so simple. No, wait, they make simple things very complex.
Yes.
Yeah. When I'm like, where?
Well,
it's the respect factor, I think. I feel like men make respect so complicated.
But that's where you have to just sit them down, fix them a little, straighten them up, and just lay it down on, hey, just because I used to do this doesn't mean this.
That's when I lose friends.
That's all. I
lose people like that.
You lose friends? Mm-hmm. I've lost a lot of friends. No, I won't say that. I've lost a lot of friends. Oh my gosh. I don't even know if I should say this.
With the oh my gosh like that, God. Yes you do.
Talking about that, I just 2024 opened up with losing unfortunately a friend of like 10 years. 11.
Why?
Yeah. Over us. Okay. Let me ask you.
Okay.
You're messing with a dude.
Okay.
Of a few of many dudes. No judgment.
Okay.
I'm your girl. You tell me everything, you know, and this is another one.
Okay, one of 8. Yeah.
This is just the next one,
Got it.
This is somebody in the entertainment business. Okay. I won't say what. And you guys go through it. He has a girlfriend back home. Okay. So he comes out and visits and everything like that. And then doesn't want anything to do with you. Mm-hmm. Blocks you on everything.
Yeah.
Doesn't block me.
Oh.
Because I had nothing to do with it. So I'm just like, what the heck?
This is an innocent bystander.
Exactly. So you would tell me, hey, can you block him so he won't see your stories?
That's stupid. No,
and
that's childish.
Like, I said, no, why would I do that?
Yeah.
Because you're my friend. I said, but I would have to do that with every guy that you would date. So I'm an athlete. Like
you're like half my following you already fucked, you slut.
So no. So I refused to. So then a few months later go by, and then they end up doing something good, and I'm a fan of that person's team.
Yeah.
And I say, and then she was asking me, hey, can you send this person a message because they have me blocked on text message, they have me blocked on IG, they have me blocked everywhere, So I'm like, no, can you just ask him why he blocked me? I said, girl, why would you even want to entertain a person who has you blocked on all these things? You're worth more. You're worth more. I was being a friend. I was like, you're worth more. You don't deserve that, all this stuff. And especially because of certain words that he used with you, like you don't deserve that. So
called her out her name.
So I told her no. Then they made it, how I said, they won something big and everything like that. I said, hey, I told her. And he had sent me DMs in the past. Never did I respond. I sent it to her. I said, your boy's in my DMs, So, like, I just want to tell her as a friend.
Yeah.
And that's my responsibility at that time to either entertain him or just ignore it.
Yeah.
So I ignore it because you're my friend. I'm not going to entertain him.
Yeah.
So then I did tell her, I said, hey, I congratulated them or him and his team, you know, what they did. And it's dope. And obviously I'm a freaking fan. And I showed her because I had nothing to hide. And then there's like, I don't feel comfortable with you actually sending him messages. I said, wait, what? You just asked me to send him a message and I didn't send him a message, but I'm an athlete. He's an athlete. I respect that. I am a fan of his team, you know, so that's all. And she was like, well, I think you should block him and all this stuff. I don't want him to see your stories. I said, girl, what do you want me to do? Put a sabana over my head? Like, you know, like, I don't know what you want me to do. So I'm not going to do that. I'm sorry. I don't play those games. Like, if he was your ex-husband of like some like worthiness of, you don't even have to tell me
like
he did you dirty. I would block the mother freaker, you know, because you're my girl. But he's just another one. I'm not going to do that. I'm not here to play those games.
What? So
anyways, I realized I left for a massage. This was January 1st. I left for a massage, and as I'm walking out, I go and I'm like, it's not worth it, dude. I'm just gonna delete it before he sees it. So I just deleted it. Later on, I think it was like 3 days later, you know, I hadn't heard from her. We were supposed to watch a game together and everything like that, and and I saw on IG, I was like, what? We're not friends anymore. I was like, she blocked me, everything like that. I was like, cool, whatever. I mean, you know what? You made it really easy on me because you were a pretty difficult person, you know, to put up with. But this person was had a safe place or a big place in my heart, I guess, because they were there for me a lot for when
like stuff.
Yes. And to me, I was like, no, I can look past all this because she was there for me. She was the only one there for me and everything like that. But at the end, yeah, she posted on one. I mean, everybody has a IG fake page, you know.
Yeah.
So I went on there and I saw, she said, when somebody shows you who they are, believe it. I said, girl, what the heck? Believe it. Maya Angelou thing.
Yeah.
You know, when somebody shows you who they are, believe it, or something like that. I was like, yo, he showed you that he didn't give a crap about you all this time, and yet you're gonna judge me and not him.
But that's the thing is,
but I'm like, yo, 11-year friendship, you threw that away for somebody who doesn't even follow you on IG or anything like that. And I'm
well, shocked. That's more embarrassing than blocking your fucking friend. And like, bro, you blocked your best friend.
Yeah, so
because he don't want to fuck with you.
I asked so many people, I said, wait, am I at the wrong for this? And then they're like, no, dude, if that was her if that was something like that, you know, but this was just like not even a year old person, you know, in that they were in and out, and he had a girlfriend at that time and all this stuff.
My thing is, like, even if that was her ex-husband and they had kids and all that bullshit.
But if he did her wrong, and I would be like, no, dude.
If he did her wrong, different.
Did her wrong, just did her dirty and broke her and whatever it is, and they had kids, and I'm like, no, if I'm hanging out with her, I want her to feel comfortable, so I don't want him to see her with me when, you know, so I would block him, unfortunately, because I'm like, no, you're my girl, you know, and that was traumatizing. I was there for you to catch all your tears and everything like that, so I couldn't believe it, but then I was like, oh my gosh, like, cool. I release it. I release it because, you know what? It's a new year, girl. I ain't got time for like little kid, middle school things like this. So,
because how old are you now?
I'm 25. No, I'm 36.
Are you really?
I'm 36.
Oh my God, I thought I was older than you, bitch. Oh my God.
I'm 36. I'm turning 37 April 16th. So Nia's birthday.
Shut up, really?
Yes.
Oh, that's what you said.
We're Aries. Yes. So yeah. So that was hard. That was hard but confusing, but peace. I'm at peace with it.
But
because I didn't choose that.
The only thing that I say about that is I like, even because that's my brother, and my brother is still friends with a lot of people that I don't even talk to. He's loyal, don't get me wrong, but like I'm never the type to be like, hey, me and this person are fighting, so you have to stop. You have to fight with them too. Like you have to hate. Yeah. I've never been that. Even when I was a kid, I'm like, I find that super immature.
Very. I've never had to deal with a lot of things. Like it was very like.
Yeah, like I don't think it's like sleeping with the
cracking and just like what the heck, you know. And we would go back and forth a lot because of her. No, I can't. I have to. Nah.
What? No. What? Yo, don't do that.
I'm going to church tonight. Yeah, that's it.
The Lord forgives me for everything. I don't think. No, my thing is like I have a very honest relationship with the Lord, because I even say, I'm like, sometimes I'll be going to church and like my mom's like, did you really smoke weed before you went to church? And I'm like, Mom, the Lord knows. He made this plant.
Are you functioning?
I'm a fully functioning pothead. Honestly, it's not that I can't function. It's not like that. But when I don't have weed in my system, I am a fucking bitch. Like, really? Yeah, like a pregnant woman who's hungry is how I act sober. Mm-hmm.
What? Oh, I was like, wait, sober. Okay.
Like a pregnant woman who is hungry is how I act when I'm sober. I am pissy and like my anger levels are like really short. Yeah. And I'm the type of person where if I'm mad or if I feel disrespected, I think it's just it's a game. It's game over. It's a free for all the words that are gonna come out of my mouth. Like I'm so disrespectful. Yeah. So when I have weed in my system, I'm just like, that doesn't need to be said. Like weed is like a filter. I still don't have a filter, but like weed is like almost like a filter, and it's almost like like why give a fuck?
It's our anger filter. Like
it's like an anger filter.
Any anger comes out, the weed just blocks that shit.
Yeah. Just be like, it's not worth it. That's not worth saying. I see. But when I am like sober and like have had nothing in my system, which is how I used to work when I was in the hospital. That's why I used to get in fights with the doctors. That's why I got fired.
Were you going to church at that time?
No.
Okay. I'm just thinking like if do you have, so you don't feel at peace when you're not high?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I never heard it put that way, but yeah, that's a good way to put it.
If you're at peace, you're just like, oh, that's not worth it. I do that a lot.
Yeah.
But this girl wanted to. I put on a sermon because I had thoughts. How are you? You say you have all these thoughts and everything like that, and I have to filter them or replace them with a sermon, because that Madi, I don't want her to come out.
Yeah.
Like, and I know she can get that Madi out, but I'm like, I will not allow anybody to get me out of who I am today.
Out of character. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, it's so easy to go crazy.
Oh, yeah.
It's so easy to go crazy.
Yeah, boxing disciplined me big time.
100%.
You know what's been helping me, honestly, is not flipping out, is literally just walking outside and breathing.
Oh, breathing. Just holding your breath and taking a last.
I've never done that before. Well, like, I breathe. I go outside and I'm like, oh, fresh air, whatever.
No, but doing it intentionally and for a purpose.
That part. Oh, my God, how that helps. Because I'm like, it's just like smoking a blunt. Like but it has to be outside. I can't do it in my room because then I'm just smelling dirty shoes or something, like I just feel like it's just cat hair. Yeah, like no, my room's a mess. No, fuck that. Like no, yeah, oh yeah, bro. It's a bad room. So I'm like, I can't just have like a deep breath of fresh air in there. So I go outside and then like I'm just like breathing and like looking at the plants, like really intentionally like looking at the plant. High? And that's when I'm not high. Yeah, that's what
that's good.
I've learned that. Yeah. I've learned that so far, but like I'm still in the healing journey. Shrooms has helped me a lot with understanding who I'm grateful for and what I should be grateful for. Like shrooms has helped me with that, which kind of diffuses like all the things that are like bad in my life. Like when you're going through shit and like oh my God, that date went wrong, like yesterday my date went kind of fucked up, and then this morning I woke up to a flat tire and like I had to go get that fixed. Like life happens, but like shrooms is what helped me remember like, okay, even if life gets hard, what do I still have my brother, I still have my mom and my dad, I still have a job, like you're good, chill out, like you're good. Like, shrooms helped me with that. So now I start to like implement that every day, but like the thing that I'm finding difficult to deal with is the way men view me, and that's what I'm trying to work on. Is like,
how do you view yourself?
Well, the way I view myself is what I'm trying to convince men to view me as. But I've been a stripper for so long.
No,
but like the people that I know, the people that
let them.
That's why I lost friends.
What happened? What will happen if you just say, you think that you think that?
That I let them, but that's when Patricia comes out, and that's when I cuss people out. I have.
Then you're proving them right of whatever it is that you
well, no, I'm not proving them right. I'm proving them. I'm cussing them out.
You're trying to make a point. You can't make a point with people. As long as you don't view yourself like that, because there was a lot I had to deal with myself, and as long as I didn't have those thoughts of me, how I thought people view me as, and I'm like, no, I will stand on what God says and what the Bible says and what I know is true.
Mm-hmm.
And he loves you and he loves me no more. He can't love us any more than what he loves us today. Even though if I was in the streets, even though if I was whatever, he can't love me anymore. Mm-hmm. Me doing any thinking like, oh, well, let me do good so God can love me a little bit more. No, like he already loves you.
Mm-hmm.
And if you just sit with that and truly, truly just sit with that and believe that, like you will have so much peace. But I think you trying to convince other people that you're not at peace with it. So you need to be at peace with that of who you used to be. And that's, I think, something that you have to like work on with yourself, not with anybody, not trying to convince anybody, just like almost even saying like trying to convince yourself of like, you let that go. So let it go.
Yeah.
You gotta, how you said you gotta, whatever, the bad date or whatever, let it go. Something happens, you receive it, you're receiving it or dealing with it. There we go. Dealing with it at that moment, but then you just let it go. Cause that don't matter. Like always know things can always get worse.
Right.
Always know things can always get worse, you know? So as long as I mean, it sounds so cliche. As long as you're alive, there's a solution to anything, and there's a possibility for it to get better.
Yeah,
it's gonna get rocky, and it's gonna probably get a little ugly, but you'll get out of it. You'll get out of it if you choose to really see and learn from it. How I was saying, like I learned from never do this, never be in the room with a guy, and if like whatever it is, like I learned from it and from other people's experiences. That's why you're sharing your experience so others can learn from it, but it's their choice,
right? Which is like the whole reason why I want to share the stories, because I want people to like know, like, hey, there's people out there who have been through the same thing, we can relate. And I love when people actually relate, and then there's other guys and I'm like, fuck, bro, like you just ruined the whole reason why I want to do this.
Yeah,
but I have to let that go.
Stand firm with it, and if they try you, say, I'm sorry you feel that way. Move on. Well, I'm sorry you feel that way. Move on.
When it comes to people that I don't know, I don't care about their opinions.
Even with people who
it's the people I do know that I need to work on.
With those,
you
continue to shine in the way that you're walking in your journey. You have to do that.
Well, you know what?
And it's so hard.
Hear me out when it comes to this, okay? Like, one thing is like, I never give a man this idea that I want to sleep with them. Never, right? Well, now, at least now. I don't give any man this idea that I want to sleep with them, but they still have this like they push for it. They push for like what am I trying to say? Hold on, let me try to think. I don't give men the idea that I want to sleep with them, but then they still like hit on me, which is fine. I get it. The idea that I can't get past is I'm like, why is it that if you like a girl or you have a good time with a girl, why is it that men cannot have a platonic relationship with them? Why is it that every time if a girl makes you laugh or if a girl makes you feel good or if a girl is like just cool with you and you guys got good energy, good friendship, why do you want to fuck her? Why do you want to sleep with her? Because in the past
it's worked for him.
Possibly.
So in the past it's worked for him, but that doesn't mean it's you.
But does it work for him? I'm like, every single woman that makes you laugh, you have to sleep with her?
No, they're just trying to take their shot. It's like on DMs when they do copy paste, they send it to all, select all, send. Let's see who catches it.
Yeah.
So and if she don't, okay, cool, next. And that's why you got to take it as. That's why don't even take it that serious. Don't even take it as like that personal either. Because it's not. It shouldn't be personal. It's just like, no, dude, he's just a fuckhead. Get out of here. That's it.
That's That's why I need to start believing it and be like, you know what? It's not me. It's you, motherfucker. You just think like a fucking weirdo.
Yeah, and don't give it so much energy. If you don't give it that much energy to it, whatever you give energy to is going to be like your repercussion of it.
Yeah.
So it's the alchemist of like when you go out and seek the treasure and the journey to seeking the treasure, the world arises and meets you halfway. Right. But it's your responsibility to take that first step and go out on the journey. That's how I was with boxing. Like, I moved from Seattle to LA, from LA to Miami, New York, all these places, but it was
fancy, bitch.
And everybody that I met wanted to help me. And I was like, God, thank you for putting this next lily pad and this next lily pad that gets me closer to, you know, my dream, which is the treasure. So, but in all that journey, it's like the world freaking was risen and like helped me in every step of the way. But if I stayed in Washington, and I'd like, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this, but I don't move. Like, it's like, homie.
It sounds like your cousin.
You know, Guadalupe next door wants the same shit. We're just like feeding the cows in the morning, so that ain't happening. You know? Yeah. So you
gotta get up and move.
Okay. So you have to do your part on that.
Actually, I know. I was like, this podcast was supposed to be. I did not expect this podcast to like heal me. I was like, wait a minute. I'm like, yeah, you're right.
But there's a lot of things that you're giving so much power to other people. You and I
didn't think
power.
I was.
Yeah, no. Girl,
yeah, which is funny. Like you're opening my eyes because I'm like, you really are opening my eyes because I'm like, no, I want people to believe this, and you're like, why?
No, I tell people from the beginning, yo. I did this, and I'm a felon. Like, you want to fuck with me, you're fucking with me. If not, get out of here.
Right.
You ain't the one. It's simple. I let you know who, like, it's my responsibility to let you know who you're about to deal with. Because I had somebody who trusted me with their kid. And from the beginning, they've been my mentor for, like, the past 10 years. Because he's like, I respect you so much more and I trust you so much more because there's so many people out there in the business world. He was in New York, Wall Street, whatever. So he's like, that are backstabbers and will lie and lie and lie. And I'm like, no, I tell you the truth.
Hell yeah.
Your decision.
Yeah.
You can move forward or you can get the hell out of my way.
Which is so funny because I actually get like I get different advice from like real business people where I'm like, I want to tell you the truth up front. And they're like, don't do that. Just like.
Well, with everything, you have to use your discernment on that. You have to make sure like, okay.
It's just it was more so like my podcast. It was like the podcast and my acting. I'm like, listen, like I would love to be a voiceover and I know you want me to be a part of your cartoon, but I have an OnlyFans. And someone here was like, why would you tell them you have an OnlyFans? Just do it. And I'm like, because then, God forbid, they pay me and I do the voiceover and then a fucking kid finds out that I had OnlyFans or the voiceover person had OnlyFans. I was like, no, it just makes everybody look bad because I didn't tell them the truth. I do stuff like that where I just don't want to embarrass myself or embarrass like other people. Like I tell the truth. Yeah. And maybe to tell on myself in a sense, but I just like even when dating, like I have a whole post where I'm like I tell people.
Well, all those things, I wouldn't lie if they ask you, hey, do you have an OnlyFans? Yeah. Absolutely, say the truth. But with those, that's where I say use your discernment. I wouldn't be like, hey, I'm this.
Me totally. I'm not with a kid's cartoon.
No,
like not.
Well, depending. Yes, I understand where you're coming from. Yeah. Then, did they call you or you called them?
Kind of mutual. It was a person that was working on they wanted to work on a kid's cartoon. They heard my voice and they were like, I want you to be a part of the kid's cartoon. And I'm like, I want to, like, believe me, I would kill to even do Disney, but I would even tell Disney, like, nah, bro, like, I cuss a lot. Yeah. And I just don't want the reprimandation of, like, a year down the line, now I have to pay them back. Yeah. Because they can't use the stuff. They can't use the, stuff.
That's the right thing to do, absolutely. Especially you knowing right away it's a kid's thing. So maybe I wouldn't go after kids' things.
Like, other stuff, then I'm like, yeah, okay. Yeah. Like, but, like, no, like, a kid's cartoon, I'm like, I can't. No. I'm going to tell you the truth. Yeah. Like, hey, I was totally a stripper. But sorry, before we get off, what is like a life hack or something, like your message that you want the people to know from you?
A life hack?
I like life hacks because I like when people tell me like how to open bread different or something, or like how to put the fucking trash bag in the, like there's different ways to put.
How do you put a trash bag without getting all like bubbly? And then I have to always make a hole on the side, get the air all out, and then
No, oh my.
How?
Yeah, there's way. Well,
TikTok will teach us, I'm sure.
Well, I know the way that we do it in the hospital is we air it out, and then you take out the air from the bag, put it in, and then you go like this. Yeah, you make it really thin, put it in there, and then go like that, and then it actually stays open.
I'm gonna try that.
Life hack.
Yeah.
Do you have a life hack or a message? If you want a message, like something that you want the people to know, to remember you by, I guess.
I guess it's inspired by you, and what I normally tell my nieces even is like everything that you want in life, or everything that who you want to become, and all this thing that you see yourself doing, you have everything within you. Like you have all that within you. An oak tree doesn't start off as like, big old oak tree. It starts off as a seed, but that chemistry and that DNA in that little seed grows to be that oak tree. So it was that big old oak tree was always within that little seed.
Yeah.
So, and that's what the alchemist is, like.
And that little seed is always a big part of that oak tree.
100%. Yeah, it is the seed. So that's what I always tell them. It's like, no matter what it is, you have everything within you. Nobody can give you the power.
Right.
You have it, and you control it, and don't you allow it to anybody to take the pen and write the story for you.
I love that. I know. I love that shit. See what I wanted her on my podcast looking at. I was like, this is gonna be inspirational as fuck, and it was. I'm like, damn, I done learned shit. I'm like, I gotta go over there and rewire my brain. I thought I was doing all right.
No, girl, but seriously.
No, there's always room for tweaks. I'm like, there's always room for tweaking, because I'm like, that helped a lot, though.
I see so much of me in you. Anything that I tell you, like, literally, whatever it is, like, I see me in you.
Aww.
Like, that hurt of, what you're dealing with and what you've gone through and, similarities.
Yeah.
But I see me in you. And
Mm.
I see me in,
unfortunately,
it sounds horrible, a meth head. I see me in somebody in jail. I see me in somebody who got sexually molested. I see you, and that's what people want in this life. At the end of the day, they just want to be seen. And as long as we just are aware of that, like, we go around and we'll smile more at people.
Because I'm like, everybody's
life is hard,
human.
motherfucker, let's go. Like, shit.
She's
Stay in it. Stay in it.
Stay in it, big dog. We in it together. We in it together.
You gotta, applaud for them. Like, everybody just wants that
exactly. Because I'm like, humans are humans, bro. Like, we're all human. Everybody just wants to be fucking seen, heard, and understood.
Yeah.
That's so facts. I love that. Oh my God, I love this fucking podcast, bro. I knew I was gonna love this podcast. Thank you so much.
Without the dildos in the back, we was able to get a message out.
They're down here, guys. They were put out, but she was like, no. I got kids who watch me. But thank you, guys. Until next time, guys. Bye.